Hello friends, I'm Kanchan from Edify Learning and you are welcome to the show. We have Sitesh Srivastav who is a corporate trainer. He has a deep interest in training and he's also closely related with the broadcasting sector. So welcome to the show Sitesh. How are you doing today?
Good day, Kanchan. Thank you. Always pleasure talking to you. And no time is better than when I'm talking to you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you so much. So,
Great.
so we yesterday I got a packet from Amazon about some of the goodies, and then I was also thinking that how the food security has affected India and how the supply chain is being, I think, taken care by government. As a report says that food security worldwide is after COVID is it's a challenge to really overcome worldwide. But when it comes to India, things are, I think, better. What your idea about this?
I think, Kanchan, in our country, food and has always been respected in terms of not just an item to feed our mind and body and the soul, but it is also seen as something which is related to the giver, that Annadata or Annapurna. These both concepts have been very widespread in India. And because of that, food is revered, regarded. Most of our festivals are around agriculture. That means we respect the farmer who produces the food. In the modern times, yes, we are more inclined towards the junk food or the processed food, but still, if we deeply look into our cultural systems, cultural festivals or events, we are an agrarian society where in our country the food is respected, and therefore and that's the population of our country, 1.3 billion, is something that does not allow us to waste the food as we know it. And therefore the topic that we chose today is significant because people who live in the urban settlements, they and their families, sometimes they don't understand the meaning of saving the food for the needy. So what do you think about it?
Yes, it's a valid point, and I think people should take care of the food because there are many people. It's around 820 million people who hungry worldwide. But though COVID has left a deep scar on this hunger and food worldwide, but Indian government has taken some crucial steps so that the supply chain is maintained. And in fact, you know that the lockdown was done on the prime time when the harvesting season was there. So the government made an arrangement that the harvest will not should not go waste. So they have taken a proper steps to that, and for economic development also Indian government has taken a proper steps. But now the supply chain is at place, and I think food scarcity is not uh, as bad as it used to be. So what do you think about that?
So I think, Kanchan, you are right when you say food scarcity is not as bad. The thing is the supply chain part of it, the logistical reach part of it, and the reach of a nutritious food is something that is more important. The World Food Organization, World Food Program, WFP, talks about that is still on our planet 690 million people go to bed or go to sleep without food or empty stomach. Now, the people who are in that category, even when they get the food, how much nutritious food is reaching them is the biggest question. It is not about the availability of the food, but the availability of the quality food or for a nutritious body or for the for 1 day requirement. And therefore, in India, we see Akshay Patra as an organization. There are many other organizations who are participating in this. And World Food Program is reaching out to 83 countries, 100 million people, delivering food assistance. I myself have seen in Japan, Kanchan, that all the big hotels in Tokyo, they would collect all the surplus food in their restaurants, and every afternoon they will deliver it to a certain place in Tokyo where homeless people are waiting for that food. And that was such a noble sight to see. In India, we do not have such thing as of yet. Yes, Akshay Patra is doing it for the schools, but there are homeless people, there are needy people, and there has to be a mechanism to get the food where it is needed the most, right?
Yes, I think Indians are all getting aware about this, and the takeaway of today's discussion is that we should not waste our food, and we should also have the habit of getting more nutrition out of small food, and then we should also help the needy who require food more, because food is the ultimate requirement of humans, so that after that every other basic needs come. So
That's right.
I think we should cooperate in community, and we should also teach in communities not to waste food, and how to use the food supply items which are being supplied at home, because now generally food is kind of delivered at home. Earlier it was hotels and restaurants. Now people don't go out to eat. So then again, this is a food management in-house, how to do. I think that is a very crucial learning which everybody has to do.
That's right, Kanchan. And you know that I have worked in extensively in Africa, where I have seen hunger from the first man's point of view and eye. And I know that at any given day, World Food Program has got 5,600 trucks, 30 ships, and nearly 100 planes on the move, delivering food and another assistance in the most needed, especially in the conflicting country or conflict affected countries. And the World Food Program distributes around 15 billion rations across the world. And it is important for our youngsters, our new generation, to learn how not to waste the food. Take only whatever is required and leave it for the second serving or the third serving, and don't take it. And I think the biggest challenge that I face personally, that when someone says take some more, please take some more, it's very nice, and I am unable to say no. We come from this Indian culture where saying no to somebody's food is kind of a insult, and therefore we end up wasting it, or we end up overeating it. Both is not fine, Kanchan. So I think we fortunately, happily, we live in an intermittent fasting world. So I think we should appreciate the food. We should not overeat it. At the same time, we should find in our communities, wherever we live, how to distribute food to the needy. Okay. And also we should also be able to tell people how to process the grains, so that they can make their food themselves. I just came from South Africa, Kanchan, and I have seen how a small around $2 a day can give a food to a South African poor people's home for 1 week. It's a big thing.
Yeah, you raised a very crucial point that anybody, actually, what happens, we get through the supply chain food, we don't know how it is being grown on the farms. So I think that is as a part of education from an early age. So children should know how, what kind of hard work is being done on the field to get grain, and it is converted into the food which is being supplied at home. So I think that is something which I think it has to be taught in schools also, or maybe like in any science lab, there's an experiment. So for this agricultural subject also, we should have these kind of display, how it's being done, not only on the book, but on actually, they should work on the field. They should know how the food is being grown.
Yes, exactly. I think the schools have lost this touch of taking the students to the farms and seeing how the food is grown, and how each crop cycle works. That rabi crops, kharif crops, which we used to study,
Right.
Kanchan. So I think the first hand appreciation the schools should inculcate among their students, maybe once in a month, going to a nearest village, talking to the farmers, and seeing, going to the fields, looking what is being grown, how it is connected with the National Food Program of India. And you know what? This is a coordinated effort today. And I must bring in the name of ITC company, which is at a forefront of agricultural supply chain. And I used to know they had something called e-Chopal, connecting the food markets across the country. So it is a basically a coordination between lot of things, Kanchan, for the partnerships, for the good health and well-being, quality of education, climate action, clean water, sanitation. So the World Food Program has got around 17 such kind of aspects through which they are trying to coordinate, and their goal is to eradicate hunger by 2030. So hopefully me and you will be there to see this, Kanchan.
Yes, I think there are few points which we have discussed, and they are quite interesting point, and viewers may take advantage of this point. As usual, it is lovely talking to you. We'll discuss some other point, some other subject in our next recordings. Till then, bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, Kanchan.
Bye bye.